Good morning, everyone. It has been an interesting morning. Let's see what has transpired. Well, I woke up with a nasty headache, and that's what makes it so interesting. It was just kind of like this dull headache, and I had no energy whatsoever. And here it is about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm finally feeling good. So, you know what? It makes it interesting, not only because I woke up with a headache, but I overslept. I slept through the alarm, and my husband, I think he hit the snooze button, and I never heard it go off at all. I just must have been totally exhausted. So finally took something for it, and I have relief. So I feel so much better. I was really dragging. Headache will do that to you sometimes. So I've also decided today that I'm going to be drinking lots of water, lots of water. Take a drink now. Mm. Oh, that might be part of my problem is that I didn't have enough water in the last couple of days. I've been guzzling coffee, if you will, and that's not good. So let's see. So yesterday morning, I went and viewed a building because I'm just considering, and this is just considering, it kind of makes me nervous, scares me a little bit, but I am considering a long arm shop. Now, I could do that right out of my house if I wanted to. We do have a family room that I could set 2 to 3 long arms up inside there and teach classes, to other long arm quilters if they're interested. But I just got to make sure it's the right thing to do. Do I want to do it in the house? Is it allowed in the subdivision? I got to look up at the homeowners association and see what it says. But this building, I really, really liked it. It has absolutely everything I would want. I don't need to do anything to move into it. I don't have to build any walls, take any walls down or partitions, nothing. It's there. And, for a long arm shop, you don't really need anything because the long arm it's it. It's it. But the upstairs of this place, I fell in love with it. It's almost like a house. So the downstairs is very open and has another little separate classroom. It has a little kitchenette, has actually 2 bathrooms, believe it or not, female and, or should I say, women and men's bathroom. Okay, now the upstairs, I loved it because it had, it's like a finished attic, and it had a wainscoting all on the wall. Oh, I loved it, and I could see, I got the vision as soon as I walked in. I went, oh, wow, this is it, and then went upstairs to the attic, and oh man, it's a finished attic, of course. I really fell in love with it. Oh, so we're gonna make a few phone calls and talk things over with my husband and see what he thinks. He was at a Christmas bowling party last night, so we really didn't get to talk about much about it. Didn't get home till late, and then of course by the time he arrived home, I was exhausted, and so was he. So there wasn't a whole lot of conversation going on. But one thing I did yesterday was I pieced some pillowcases. Now, I didn't do them until last night because I was quite busy yesterday. Where is the one that, oh, here it is. This is a very manly pillowcase, but I totally forgot I had this fabric. I want to show this to you. Let's see which side's showing. Oh, here we go. Okay. See the bear? I didn't even plan for that to come in the middle of it or to be in the middle of it. I I love this pillowcase. My son Joe came down here and I was showing it to him. He goes, "Mom, you know who would like that?" And I was like, "Well, I'm making it for someone, but this someone he wasn't talking about." So we had a little conversation about who would love it. And I'm not going to mention it because that person might be watching the video and, well, maybe he's getting a surprise and I don't want to spoil it. So I made two of those last night. And then I'm making another one. Now it's not out of that fabric. I'll just show you. You can see I got all my pins in here. I love my little butterfly pins. Let's see if I can open it up. Can you see can you see the little pink fabric? This is Moda line. I believe it's Three Sisters. I've always loved their designs, their fabric line. So this pillowcase, it's for a female, if you couldn't guess. She means a lot to me. She lives 700 miles away from me. During a very rough time in my life, she was there for me. So I'll explain quickly to you. when I was 15, my mom died. And within 2 years, my family, which is my dad, me, and my two sisters. Now, my sisters are older than me, and they were already married, living on their own, that kind of thing, having kids. And but our family went through some rough times, and our dad basically, honestly, he walked away from us, which was really rough because I was at a point in my life where I wasn't ready to be on my own, and it was, let's just say, it's kind of forced on me. My two sisters were there for me, and they did everything they could to help me out. But remember, they also had their own families, and they had to focus on their lives. And every chance they had, they were there. I'm not talking bad about them in any way, shape, or form. They were there for me. But there was another person was there for me, kind of back in the background, very silent. She When I was 17, I was dating David Black. So these are the high school days. And his mother had a she had a big impact on me. I would sit and watch her and how she took care of her family, and she just took me under her wing and let me into the family. And so for 2 years of my life, she was there, and this is my way of saying thank you. So this pink pillowcase is for Margaret Black. She she's just a wonderful lady. I remember sitting around at the dinner table with their family, back in the day. And now they had 5 kids. The 3 were still left at home when David and I were dating. It was David, his sister Colette, and his brother Ron. Now Ron's the baby. Colette was next to the youngest, but she was the only girl. So let's think about this. You got David Black. He likes to tease and kid, and oh my gosh, he just gave his sister Colette the hardest time. I remember times sitting at that dinner table, she would get so frustrated with him. Okay, it was just funny. You can just imagine brother sister relationship, and he did his little brother like that too. But I think Colette got in on those when they would kind of tease and give Ron a hard time. I think they're all best friends now, which is typical for when we grow up. We become best friends with our siblings. So I just remember those dinner tables. But his mom sat me down and had a talk with me one day, and it was a good talk. But I've just never forgotten the conversations that we'd have in those dinner tables. And she made me go to church with them too. So anyway, Margaret, this pillowcase is for you, and I'm not going to say who the other one's for. But anyway, that's neither here nor there at this point in time. I hope you like it. It matches the quilt that I made for her a few years ago. So today's agenda is finishing her pillowcase, getting on that long arm machine. And let's go back to the sewing machine. I went to thread the machine so I could sew this pillowcase. And when I went to put the thread in, I got a whole bunch of lint all over my fingers. And I went, oh, you've been sewing a lot, and you did not clean your machine, nor have you changed the needle. So that's your tip for today. If you've been sewing a lot, whether it's on the long arm machine, your serger, or your regular sewing machine, embroidery machine, clean it. Get that lint out of there. And if it's time to change the needle, change the needle. Don't wait till it breaks. That's not smart, and it's not saving money. It really isn't, because the needle that you got in there, if once it's been used too much, it's going to break on you and shatter. And you know better than that. Go change that needle. It's not going to hurt anything. It only takes 10 seconds to change it, if that. So make sure you take care of your machines. Remember, they're machines. You got to clean them. You got to oil them. Get that lint out of there. Change the needle out, and keep it running. You paid for it, doggone it. So today on the long arm machine on Helen's quilt, it's an Asian quilt, and I'm going to be sewing like a cherry blossom tree branch throughout. There's certain blocks that are connecting, and that's what I want to try to do. I want to get some cherry blossoms in these blocks connecting, and then I got to finish. It's like an Asian panel, and so I need to finish the figure that's in the panel, which is a female face, and I want to do some lines in there. And so anyway, I got to get moving, and I do have to go grocery shopping. I don't want to go outside because it's kind of dreary out there again today, and it is freezing cold. So hope everybody's staying safe, warm. Have a great day. Toodles, everybody. Bye.